No, of course not. Not ever.
Anyways, welcome to ScottTawkin.
Yeah,
I have not been
hi.
recording for as long as you thought I have. I just
Okay,
started.
I
We're 3
assumed
seconds in.
so.
Oh, we're 13 seconds in.
I'm glad they didn't hear about our other talk.
Which me filling out like basically government documents.
Well, that and the other stuff.
Oh yeah, we found this really cool game. This has nothing to do with Fnaf, but
A cool indie game.
it's a really cool indie game. It's called Sanabi. It's really cool. And then
It's
I
a
fucking
ScottTawkin seal of approval.
yeah, certified not FNAF. I actually did start playing, and I'll put a little bit of the footage that I got because I didn't record that much, but I did find a really cool FNAF game. I think it's called Too Many Nights. Let me see.
What? I don't know.
Yeah, Too Many Nights. It's imagine
Too
like
many cooks.
it's like a FNAF roguelike.
Oh, man, my friends were playing that. I think.
It's really sick. I was a really big fan.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Adam watched this. Adam played it.
You'll see a little bit of footage from Too Many Nights. It's like I think I recorded like 10 minutes of footage, and I was just playing it. I was like, oh, maybe I should record, and then I got bored.
That's awesome.
Anyway, what's our topic tonight, Taylor?
Hello, internet. Welcome to ScottTawkin.
Yeah, we're discussing game theory.
The game, first name game, last name theory.
We have been
Middle name Matt Pat.
I think this is probably going to become a series of sorts.
Matt Pat retrospective.
Pretty much, but like we were going through all the old ones.
Yeah.
We skipped episode 1 where he's talking about about how it's based off a murder, because I think like no matter how long we go on doing this podcast, it could go on for 100 years and we would still vividly remember that.
Yeah, that one is like it's like embedded in my memory. Okay, so we should talk about like our background with game theory. I watched all of his stuff and I took everything he said as gospel for at least like 4 years straight. Like there was a span where I would take everything he said and like take it as the whole truth and nothing but for every game, and I was probably very annoying to talk to because of that.
Possibly. I was introduced to film theory first, so I didn't really know about game theory initially. I'd played the first couple of FNAF games because as much as I don't give too much of a shit about Markiplier now, I gave a massive shit then, and that's how I found out about it.
Game theory was my introduction to FNAF, and because of that, we are kind of going to maybe seem a little harsh about what he says.
Oh yeah, we were watching this, and our criticisms were like, "This idiot! This isn't close to true. He got it so far off.
Look at this idiot!
How could he even think that, even at the time?
What a dumbass!"
But
even with that, like they were still so nostalgic to me, and for as much as I was laying into them, I was very much enjoying it.
It was.
In fact,
yeah.
After we watched some episodes, I went on a bit of a like tear watching other game theories, just for like nostalgia's sake almost.
Yeah, dude. I was a film theory guy mostly because I'm big into movies.
I watched a bit of both.
But I also play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the more I watched game theory, the more I liked it. Film theory, so for as half-baked as some of the FNAF theories are, if you go back and rewatch old film theories, they do not hold up. Like, at all.
Yeah.
You immediately start seeing cracks in the logic, and it kind of makes me sad, so I don't watch them anymore. Like, I caught my brother watching the one about Zootopia and crack, And like that one holds up, and then he turned on the 2-part about Dory faking having short-term memory loss, and it does not hold up. It's so bad.
Yeah. But for all of that, MatPat as a person is a very, like, in terms of figures on the internet, probably one of the best in terms of being a good person.
Yeah.
Which is why I need to specify, I feel like we should specify that we are not making fun, we're lampooning in, like,
it's loving
good,
loving criticism.
Yeah, we're not, like, trying to, like, deface him or devalue everything he did.
Just because we deeply
specified,
hate Dream Theory does not mean we hate him.
and we've specified that he has specified that his takes are mostly, like, he doesn't really ever believe in the things he says, except for Fnaf. Fnaf is kind of the exception.
He just kind of like comes up with a silly idea, like measuring Luigi's cock size.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I don't know what he was on about with that one, but whatever.
It felt like being silly.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. You took notes while we were watching.
I took a bit of notes just to for talking points, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the Jackbox game.
Of course. But I have the playlist up, and we're basically just going to go in order and talk about them. Because this is probably going to be a series that we do, where we talk about all the FNAF theories.
Yep, sure is.
God, once we get to, like... I think we're going to... Oh, I don't really know. We could get just bored of talking about it. But once we hit... Yeah, once we get to Matt's final theory, I haven't really continued watching Game Theory.
Same.
Like, look, all the best wishes to the new guy. I purely watched Game Theory and Film Theory and all the other theories for nostalgia alone. I didn't actually, like, praise the content that was being made.
Yeah.
In my eyes, it was solid, like it was solidly produced and stuff, and it was kind of written. But I had been watching it for so long, and at that point, why stop?
What he did that I feel like goes a little uncelebrated is really introduce people to the idea of taking these stories more seriously and like treating them as like actual pieces of art that can be like broken down and speculated about in a more serious way, because I feel like that wasn't really around before he kind of, or at least he introduced a new generation to it. Like he like got people interested in like
media literacy.
Game literacy, game media literacy.
What is it? What's it when you? Is it media literacy where you're like able to look further, like into the deeper meaning of things?
I think so.
I think so too. He did preach.
Yeah.
He did
analyze
kind of
media messages.
Yeah, I like that because like I like to analyze movies, and I like to like kind of listen to lyrics really hard when I'm listening to music. Sometimes the beat funny. I love how like when you listen to Copacabana, how deeply sad that song is.
Okay.
And I was playing that like at dinner the other night. My mom was like, "Why are we listening to Barry Manilow?" I'm like, "It's a good song." She goes, "It's catchy," and I go, "It's sad." And she goes, "What?" Like she just had never really listened to the lyrics, and I think it's interesting that like there's a YouTuber out there who kind of subliminally taught people to find the deeper meaning, to like look into the stories they're ingesting, to really listen to the music they're listening to, watch the movies, really play the games, analyze things.
Yeah.
Even if it does resort in Dream Theory.
Do you have any like favorite game theories, like even outside of FNAF, before we get into it?
Ones that come to mind.
Yeah,
I do like watching the Luigi Coxeyes one.
that one's pretty funny.
Outside of FNAF. Oh, I always appreciated the Petscop theories.
I was gonna say Petscop
Past
is up
the
there.
first one, I think the first one is the only one where his ties to really tragic events feel like deeply researched and pieced together well. Like the first one with FNAF, the first episode of like his FNAF theories is not good and doesn't hold up at all.
Objectively, that one is just the worst one based off of the content he's talking about.
But with Petscop, the first Petscop, I genuinely think that's not a bad line to connect, and I think it does make the Petscop theories have a very uniquely dark vibe, and it's the most like mature and I think honest of his theories, and it's the only ones I can go back and kind of rewatch, and he was sort of right about Petscop. All the other ones, at least to me, are just like drops in the bucket. Like they're kind of fun because Matt has a good a fun personality, and as a host of an internet show, he's charismatic. But like,
Yeah. Okay,
the content is not there for me.
I have a couple. I really liked all of his Stress Level 0 ones were good. I think the Duck Hunt ones, talking about the different stuff in there.
Duck Hunt was
I liked.
good.
His Blair Witch one, where he said the two guys, there was never a witch, it was just the two guys who tricked the girl into going into the woods so they could kill her. I thought that one was interesting.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the greater Blair Witch lore,
I mean,
I would
there's
buy
other
that.
movies. Yeah, for sure.
Well, other movies, the games, the books.
Right. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared comes to mind. I don't know if it's necessarily the most accurate.
Well,
but
also, Don't Hug Me, I'm
was
Scared is
entertaining
pretty definitive, and it doesn't really leave a lot of mystery. It's pretty upfront about what it's trying to say. It's kind of its lack of subtlety is where its horror comedy aspect comes in.
Yeah, you just have to have a base level of understanding, and when I watched it when I was like 9, I didn't, so I found it very captivating.
It's kind of like in like Gravity Falls or Brooklyn Nine-Nine, when they like, it's like just their lack of subtlety, and they just like will spell out what the fuck just happened to you. It's like a guy could hit a duck with a truck, and they're like, wow, I can't believe that duck was hit by a truck. It's like shit like that. That's kind of what Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared does. It's like not at all subtle in what it's trying to say. Yeah. What is it, like the fucking, what's the one with like the giant head that eats gravel?
Oh, 3?
Yeah, that one just like at one point just fully tells you what the point is.
Yeah, it's like cult indoctrination.
Yeah.
Or just a call out of religion.
Yeah, I like to think it's Scientology, but that's just because I hate Tom Cruise.
That's possible.
But anyway, we should probably get into the fucking.
Yeah. And he had a good one about like team death matches. How like in like first-person shooters, red is more likely to win just because of color theory, and blue are more likely to win in strategy. I don't know how accurate it is, but it was funny. Anyway, FNAF time, baby.
Yeah, I don't know how
so we
often
all came here to watch.
Exactly. You hear it. You hear at ScottTawkin don't give a shit about our thoughts outside of anything FNAF.
Yeah, but, you clearly come here for like actual discussion about FNAF.
Yeah,
you care about our opinions, right?
Yeah, leave a comment if you think.
What's your favorite animatronic?
What's your favorite theory? Mine's Greg Bot.
I'm a big fan of Dream Theory. Anyway,
we're here at ScottTawkin. We're a big. We like to push Dream Theory. We're big Dream Theory fans.
We're big snoozers over here.
So when we watched these theories, it was really funny because we watched them with a small group of friends, and
there were points where we just sort of weren't paying attention because it was making each other laugh.
Well,
We got off topic a bit.
Especially when Matt would just be like, "Scott, you're wrong."
Yeah.
it's like he would.
It's like you actually should have written your story because clearly you don't know what you're talking about.
In 3 of them, or like 3 of the ones we've watched, he just like tells Scott outright that his lore is wrong and that he's cracked the code, and it's very funny. Like the gall to tell the creator of that franchise, "You're wrong. Shut up. I figured it out."
It's very obvious that he wanted to rush it out before the game came out, which he failed to do. But he just assumed the bite victim was the victim of the bite of 87, and therefore it was his frontal lobe, and then he wouldn't be able to dream.
Yeah.
He should have waited a little longer and found 1983. This all would have been avoided.
He should have.
Nope, you're wrong. You're stupid. I hate you. I don't even know if you've ever played the games. He just watches Markiplier play them.
Oh, so he's like most FNAF fans. Checks out.
No, I don't want to play the games. These games are scary.
It does make me sad that, like, was it you who sent me the meme on Insta where it was like FNAF fans getting ready to watch Markiplier play the game instead of actually buying it?
Probably.
Guys,
I mean, to be fair,
guys, the games are kind of intended for younger audiences. They're not that scary. Just watch the Tech Rules video on how the AI works, and you will never be scared of it. Like, when an animatronic moves, you'd be like, "Oh, I guess they passed the movement check," and it's like, all right.
Imagine Mike saying that. It's like, "Oh, someone passed their movement check."
I do. Have you ever heard me play it in call?
No, Mike in universe saying that.
Dude,
well, someone's got a really high AI tonight. Close his door.
No, gee. Hey there, Bonnie. Oh. You seem to be awful aggressive tonight. Awful lucky with those movement opportunities.
I got the Cam 2B Easter egg.
But let's get actually into the theories.
I have a couple notes of like general things that I want to talk about that kind of apply to everything. Just 2 things.
Are we gonna skip? Okay, to everything.
We'll talk about one being just bad, but first of all, the editing in these videos I'd like to bring up because I find them that they hold up like really well. Honestly,
I honestly like the old editing more.
That's what I mean.
That's more personality.
That editing.
And that I'm pretty sure is Foot of a Ferret.
Sorry?
I'm pretty sure the original ones, at the very least, it's either Foot of a Ferret who was the main editor, or Foot of a Ferret took that style into his videos. But correct me if I'm wrong, he was an editor for... Yeah, he does all the Steven Universe videos. Correct me if I'm wrong, he was an editor for Game Theory at one point, and he left to do his own thing.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's the main editor, though, because if you watch his videos and you watch the old FNAF theories, they're, like, edited the exact same way.
Yeah. Like all the, like, not models. What am I thinking of?
Yeah, the models.
2D models, yeah. They're all, like, very, like, nostalgic.
The fonts.
Yeah, everything's very punchy. Like, it's very clearly explaining. Like, it's kind of hard to listen to Game Theory because he'll just start yapping about shit that doesn't make any sense. The visuals very much help the process of like understanding what MatPat's talking about sometimes.
Yeah, because like in the later ones, it just feels like something to aid in almost like a podcast feel. But the original ones are very audio visual. Like you're paying attention to 2 things at once.
Yeah, the concept of listening to a video, I feel like wasn't really around as much. People watched videos very intently. with the intent to like look at them.
Yeah. Anymore, I feel like people turn them on in the back. I think YouTubers have realized that videos have kind of become something to put on in the background for a lot of people, and so some people put slightly less effort. I think Game Theory started to put in a little less effort into the editing, or at the very least lost its personality.
Probably, yeah.
But no,
I mean, everything became more streamlined. MatPat was doing 4
that's
channels at once. They were very much a quantity over quality. I think now it's probably gotten better because it's kind of split up amongst four
teams.
4 groups, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think there's a personality in the first ones. There's almost like egotistical MatPat. Like
oh my god, you're right.
Like we'll start getting more into our specific thoughts of each episode as we when we start talking about them. But like as a general rule of thumb, let me look, because there's like a very clear point where they stop. I think Fnaf 5 Decoded still has it.
Yeah, it
no,
lasted a while.
The Killer's Eyes.
I want to say it was around 6, maybe. Pizzeria Sim.
It's I would say. Sorry, I'm like actually. They're gonna hear like quick little snippets of audio. So the final theory, it's No More Secrets is like the last example of that kind of editing style being prevalent. Everything else feels way punchier, way more
I feel like
way more character driven.
You might have to check that. We'll talk about this probably when we cover it, because I feel like that might be a whole video on its own. The 4-part timeline that he makes later on.
We'll talk about it.
I think it kind of goes back to that style at some point, I feel like. But I might be wrong. I haven't watched it.
Well, I'm pretty sure at one point he references the old videos, and then they
that sounds right. That sounds right. So I had another thing. The benefit of hindsight very much rears its head here, because
that's true.
He makes a lot of assumptions that would be instantly disproven, and that brings up a greater issue with a lot of the things that MatPat tries to theorize about in like series or things that get context later on. He's trying to solve things that don't have an answer yet in a lot of cases. And he leads himself down rabbit holes that make it hard for him to solve once the puzzle pieces are there, because he feels like he's already placed them.
Right.
You see this in Undertale as well. I rewatched the Undertale ones because I found them funny. And it's so bizarre that his Sans' Nest theory is surprisingly accurate to Deltarune. He just equated it to Earthbound and caused millions of toddlers to hate him instead. And
I can't believe that theory was so bad that Scott made fun of it in this movie.
That's true. He was like, "Hey, make him name Ness," and
funny.
people were like, "That's funny, Scott. Let's do that." And MatPat was like, "Okay."
That's a real green beans and cream corn level joke.
That's true. Green beans and cream corn is a green beans and creamed cornerstone of this channel at this point.
Don't say it. Don't. Oh my god. That's the corniest shit I've ever heard.
Green beans and creamed corny.
Oh my god.
Oh, all right. So I win.
So
this
welcome
episode.
to the last episode of ScottTawkin.
Let's say that. They're gonna believe us.
Well, no.
Our viewers are stupid.
Don't say that. I just started noticing people I don't know before in the comment sections. Don't say that.
Hey, I hate you guys. You guys suck.
He does not speak for me.
You're right. He's ScottTawkin. Oh, he's talking. I'm Scott.
Whichever. It doesn't matter. Welcome to episode 1 of Game Theory, where it sucks.
What? This is ScottTawkin.
We're gonna. I think.
Okay.
Did you have any more points
episode
before
one.
we get into the episode
No,
one?
those were my only two.
Okay.
I have one note about FNAF 1.
Okay.
It's the worst.
It's really, it's he. So we didn't rewatch this one because it's very fresh in our minds.
He explains minimum wage, and uses that as evidence to prove that it has to take place in 1993. He didn't take into account that maybe you get paid on Thursday, which I get paid on or I did get paid on Thursday, so I could completely believe.
I get my pay stubs
that,
on Thursdays.
Dude, you stubby bastard. Anyway, and then he counts. No, he counts the toes later. Not in that episode.
Foxy's Toe, I think, is episode 3.
Yeah, it's during FNAF 2 because he's trying to say the Wizards and the originals are the same.
Aren't they?
We're not. They are, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Scott was inconsistent.
Yeah, he's really good at that. And then he goes into this whole analogy about a real life shooting that happened at a Chuck E. Cheese, and he makes he makes ties to every character and the people that actually really died in that real life killing that happened.
And this is not in Petscop where the subject matter was already pretty grim, and like this is a real world example that kind of makes sense given the subject matter of Petscop. This is tying the funny bear jump scare game to an actual shooting, which I mean I will give him this. In that episode, he does talk about that subject with as much self-awareness and care as he can. He understands that might be a bit of a stretch, and he doesn't want that to be disrespectful. However, that is obviously not the intent in FNAF. It is ridiculous to make that connection, especially given what the franchise becomes.
Yeah. I was going to say something, but I forgot.
My bad.
No, I was like literally just thought of something and I was about to say it and then I forgot what I was going to say. So, you know. Did you have any other notes?
It did kind of like, I would say that theory, and then obviously like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, all those guys, did cause FNAF to blow up in the way that it did.
Yeah, it's still his most popular actual game theory. For some reason, his Mirror's Edge. Yeah, his Mirror's Edge Game Labs video has like 93 million.
It was the only when
it's the only Game Lab that was like available for free. So
I actually watched all of Game Lab.
Oh really?
I also watched. It's all right. I also watched the Game Grumps show, and that one is terrible. I didn't like it then. I actually watched it with a straight face. It was really bad. I watched a comedy sitcom. I guess it's not really a sitcom.
I like Game Grumps never really clicked with me. I just feel they're bad at the game, and that makes me not like it.
You were watching Game Grumps wrong. Everyone
I was
treats
there
that like a gaming podcast.
Games.
No, it's basically like a podcast in the video games.
They were bad at the games. They sucked at like every Zelda they played. They were so bad, and it was upsetting.
I always liked Dan, and I still like Dan because like I'm a big Ninja Sex Party fan. He's the only So something interesting about Game Grumps is like every time there's allegations about them, except for one time, Aaron is always the culprit, and like 80% of the time he is called out because he's an asshole. Like he's a fucking man-child asshole. And Game Grumps is a terribly ran company. And so like they come out and it's like, oh, Dan's an asshole, Aaron's an asshole.
Yeah.
And then Dan's just like, oh, there's one time there was allegations that were disproven within the hour, which was hilarious. I was watching like real time Game Grumps get canceled and Ninja Sex Party get canceled, and then like 30 minutes later, the person who made the call out post was like, "Yeah, none of that was real." It's like, what the fuck?
That's awesome.
But no, Game Grumps is shitty. They take advantage of a lot of artists and a lot of guests that they had, and they really mistreated former members of Oni Plays, and that kind of makes me sad.
I watched Steam Train a lot more.
That's
I didn't
fair.
really know I didn't know the difference, but I liked Ross more.
People like Ross and Dan more.
Yeah. I mean, Ross is like
It also had the better intro.
that's very true. But Ross is like successful outside of Game Grumps now.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
So is Dan. Dan's...
Yeah. I mean,
it's
yeah.
so funny because he's popular because of Game Grumps, but he was also popular before that on Ninja Sex Party. But then he released his album with Super Guitar Bros, and that did really well. And the first one's really good, and the second one, I just don't like the song picks.
Yeah.
But it's still a well-produced album. Anyway, welcome to our FNAF podcast,
And
episode
Aaron's still
2.
writing off Game Grumps. 2?
Episode 2.
Oh, a Game Theory. Yeah. Okay. We're
FNAF
way
2.
past
Game
2
is
at this
scary.
point.
Story solved. I don't entirely remember.
So I
this
just listed them based off of the games. I didn't do ones for individual theories. So
This is
my
where,
first...
where you was starting to like make the timeline between
yeah.
FNAF 1 and 2, and then he
Yeah.
said something like, "Purple guy's smiling because Foxy is his favorite," and I go, "That's
And there and that
very
was his-
clearly not what's happening."
that was his incriminating evidence for Phone Guy and Purple Guy being one and the same.
There's better evidence. Like that's not a bad idea.
It's fine.
It's kind of a
just
cool.
It's just trying to force the two characters to be the same one when there's already so many. When there's already so few characters, that it feels weird to try and do that.
Yeah, I mean he dies. It's pretty clear that Phone Guy dies. So why would he be Purple Guy? I mean, if you're going just based off FNAF 1 and FNAF 2,
But like at that point, it was kind of obvious that they were gonna make. No, it was obvious because he announced it. It was obvious because he announced he was making a third game.
That's true. But if you were to look at it as just FNAF 1 and 2, I guess you could kind of see that connection because they were the only two characters that weren't the player
Jeremy
character,
or Fritz or Mike,
or the
non-characters at this point, who are also non-characters.
Mike is a character
now.
Yeah, I argue he was then.
What did he have? What defining trait that he had that wasn't just fucking from the fandom?
No, well, when he takes off the mask,
He smells bad.
Yeah, that too. But when he takes off the mask, he lets out a little gas or like a little yell.
Most people do that, I think.
Do you scream when you take off a mask?
He doesn't scream.
He was like, "Ah!"
What? No, he doesn't.
Then explain that sound when he takes off the mask.
The like rubbing of the fur, the friction.
No. There's
Hang
a little
on.
hype. I'm also looking this up.
You're fucking with me. That's what you're doing.
Why did Rick Astley do a cover of Pink Pony Club?
Because that song is generational.
Dude, I found one and they fucking misspelled off. Alright, shit, I have my shit muted because I was looking at Game Theory episodes.
Is it top comment Scott breathing into the microphone to make the sound effect?
No, it's the when he puts it on. There's like a little high pitch sound there. It's like, yeah.
Hang on, let me hear it, dude.
Oh, are you not?
I'm trying to
find it.
That's not that. I'm reading. I don't want the breathing sound. Here, mask on and off. Here we go.
Where they misspell off.
That's not a scream.
Then what is that?
It's definitely not a scream.
It's a little. Ah!
No, it sounds like a zipper sound.
No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm
Yes, it
wearing I'm
does.
wearing a sweatshirt with a zipper. Do you want to know what a fucking zipper sounds like?
It's like a rubbery thing. Yeah, I'm reading the comment. The comment. That sounds more like that than a scream.
No, it doesn't. It sounds
Yes, it
like
does.
ugh.
That's not a person.
That
What
is a
person
person.
sounds like that?
Scott.
Try it. Try to make that sound. No, this he doesn't have the fucking hiccups.
That wasn't a hiccup. That was a
That
gasp.
sounds like a hiccup.
That was a gasp.
No, it sounds like they were slowly zipping and then they quickly zipped it. It's like zzz,
Nah,
zzz.
you're true, dude. The comments are gonna lambast us. They're gonna be like, "Both of you are idiots."
No, it's obviously a zipper sound.
It's not a
He's zipping
zipper.
it up.
It's not a
Yes,
zipper.
he is.
It's
He
not a
is.
zipper.
Why did someone put a timestamp? This video is 4 seconds long.
Wait, did they really? Is this the same one that I found?
I don't think so.
Freddy mask on and off sound effect.
There's multiple timestamps. What are they fucking on? Hang on, let me-
wait. What is the timestamp for though?
taking it off as opposed to putting it on.
Oh, I get it.
It's putting it on versus putting it off. What the frick? People are thinking it's a dog bark.
Wait, what?
It sounds like a moaning sound. It sounds like a little girl moaning. What the hell are they talking about?
Why did they specify? When you close your tab, points. This comment section's actually
Holy
brain
shit.
dead.
Holy shit. Okay, I'm putting it 0.25 speed because they demand it. No, it just sounds slow. It just sounds like it's slowed down. What are they on?
Okay, we were watching the same video. They misspell off.
No, they don't. Oh,
Yeah,
in
they
the
do.
video.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
video.
okay. On and of.
All right, we'll link this
Okay,
video in
We got
the
it.
description. We'll also link all the theories in order. But no, 2
Okay,
was
with that intro to 2.
they keep hearing me open up the fucking theories.
Yeah. So
Another
my
funny
first
thing
note-
was when we watched the intro, Taylor was like, why aren't all the consoles in order?
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
I thought it was supposed to be like a time. I guess it's just like a trip through time or whatever. But still, like they could have just put it in order. It's not that hard.
it starts
just
with
look up-
yeah, and then he got mad. He goes,
asked
one of
me.
them just says Sega.
It's true. You can't just put the name of.
There's
a
also
brand.
just Atari and then the PlayStation logo.
Yeah, like you could have asked me at that point in my life when I was watching these, and I would have been able to tell you the right order. It's like
I think you
is
would get thrown off by
gross.
the Dreamcast and the Jaguar.
okay. When the Dreamcast is Xbox. So 60.
What? What did you just? What did you just say? What did you just say?
The original Xbox.
No, it isn't.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It's dude. The Xbox has so much more graphical power. It's not even funny. What are
I'm
you
thinking. Hang on.
talking about?
It could be the same generation.
Do you? No. Wait, maybe. Hold on.
It could have been. It could have been
Dreamcast,
before that. Because the N64 and the
Xbox.
It was-
Oh wait, that's stupid. Original. 2001, 1998. Yeah, I guess they were in the same.
oh my god, you can't get mad at me and then when I'm right.
I thought you were
can't
saying that they were like the
yell
same
at me.
console. I was like, dude,
No,
you could not play Halo on the Dreamcast.
fuck, you can't play it on the GameCube. Those are all the same generation. man.
You could play it on the game.
You can't play Xbox. You can't play Halo Reach on the Wii. What's your point?
You could totally play Halo Reach on the Wii.
I'd love to see you. I'd love to see you play that whole game and not scream once.
Dude, okay, listen. I played. Oh God, what did I played a first-person shooter on the Wii. It was GoldenEye.
Okay, the 5th gen. What? Holy shit! So I'm looking at the 5th generation. So there's a funny little table here of the prices for all the consoles.
Okay.
Look at the one for the 3DO interactive multiplayer.
Why is it so... Dude, that is more expensive than the PS5.
Holy shit. $700. What the fuck?
CD-ROM. Best-selling game. It doesn't even have one.
It's CD-ROM. Oh my god. Yeah, this is insane. Oh, we forgot about the Pioneer Laser Active.
What about the FM Towns Marty?
What about the Apple Bandai Pippin?
Wait, wasn't that big in
$600.
Wasn't that really big in in Brazil? It doesn't even have click on it.
No,
it doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
I know. That was the Game Gear.
I'm just gonna type hello, change summary, your mother.
Okay.
Your action has automatically been identified as harmful. I just said hello.
It's better than nothing.
Non-mass market. Why does the Playdia console set.jpg have more information than the Apple Bandai Pippin? It doesn't even exist.
Can we buy an Apple Bandai Pippin?
I'm gonna look on eBay.
It's gonna be so much.
Apple Bandai. Why is there even search results? It is
anything.
We can actually.
How much is it?
$573.
We could afford that.
It's What the fuck? This.
I'm gonna be working like crazy over the summer, so we could totally afford that.
Okay, Bandai Pippin games. I don't think this thing had games.
It's CD-ROM. So I don't.
Did honestly, it just play like computer games?
I think so.
It's from Japan. I don't think we could even use this.
Probably not. List of Pippin titles.
Dude, what is this?
Games in Japan. Oh, you can play Ultraman Taiga.
I don't want to. Dude, tigers are scary.
We can play Al Shogi. Can play Circus.
Oh, dude, I want to play it. That sounds like a fucking 2600 game.
We can play Dazzleoids.
Oh, dude.
Frankie Online. Frankie Online.
No.
Funky funny aliens.
Oh, dude. Oh, baby.
Holy shit. Kids Box. Jungle Park.
Oh, we're looking at. I fucking misspelled funky.
Peas.
Funky funny aliens. This has a fandom page. This looks awesome.
We can get peas for 12,800 yen.
What's the really shitty game that Scott made?
The one that looks like you're playing as nerds.
Yeah.
The candy.
Hold on, it's in my watch history.
Getting off topic.
I'm wrangling it back. I brought up ScottTawkin.
I have notes.
Okay. I will search. We'll do more.
I don't know, dude. We're already like 20 minutes in.
Oh, that's how far into this you think we are?
Are we further in?
Almost 45 minutes.
Oh wait, I just checked. Yeah.
Oh, doofus!
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ben, in the future, put doofus footage in. All right, now I have to remember where I said that. 4351. Okay. Episode 3. FNAF
what?
mystery solved.
I haven't.
Oh, you're not done with episode 2?
No. I just have notes.
Okay.
For all of FNAF 2. Sex offender database. Let's talk about it.
Oh, right. I forgot he said that. So it connects to a sex offender database. That was never said.
What were you
the game.
talking about? Did you just assume that? And if so, what kind of freak are you?
Okay, so no, I remember exactly what you're talking about. So Scott is saying that like the animatronics
they're tied to a criminal database.
Yeah, but Matt says sex offender database. That was never said at any point. Where did this come from?
Why is he assuming that? If that's the case, if he's assuming it?
I imagine like he just like he meant criminal database and he wrote in sex offender and no one proofread
Maybe
that.
he had the sex offender shuffle on his mind.
Dude, when do you not, honestly?
That's not true.
But like,
Song of the year for 3 years straight.
how old do you think the sex offender shuffle is?
At least 2.
It's at least 2. I mean, you're right about
Probably
that.
more.
Hold on, let's look how old this is.
Oh
Like,
no!
Hold on. No,
Just
you
put it up on
talk about
screen.
more. You talk about more. While
Yeah,
I
so
look
just
about the while I
the
look
sex
this
offender database line it kind of just sums up how MatPat did these videos. It's like 20 years old, isn't it?
It's 15 years old.
Yeah.
Did you just sneeze? Because I heard you mute.
I had to cough.
Oh, okay.
So he's just kind of like saying the weirdest shit.
Yeah.
I wrote down Fredbear's Family Diner. Do you remember what that was for?
I mean, I could probably figure it out.
He just like had like a weird assumption about what it was.
Fredbear's. It wasn't about the fact that they used the Gravity Falls, like
No, it wasn't.
Lazy
That's awesome.
Susan's diner.
That's an iconic image though.
It says Gravity Falls on it.
Yeah, it's iconic.
And then he puts like Daxter from Jack and Daxter in there.
Yeah.
He assumed. I think he assumed that he used the Fredbear suit to kill the kids.
Maybe I don't think that's what I wrote down, but that's also. I mean, like that was just him using what he had. And...
Oh, what it could be referring to, because he says that the Charlie's death, the puppet death, happens outside of a Fredbear's Family Diner location. And his only evidence is that it's a small box. That's all he says about that. That's probably what it was.
Probably.
Which is like, okay, first off, there's no indication that I don't think he ever says that Fredbear's is smaller than Freddy's.
Yeah, he's just assuming it because it's
yeah, because it's Freddy's is newer, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bigger. Like the FNAF 1 location.
It becomes smaller.
Yeah, I mean, like 2 is a massive. Like if you think about how big the FNAF 2 location is, first off, that layout makes 0 sense.
No, it's stupid.
It genuinely
it is baffling.
Scott placed things where he thought it kind of.
Scott didn't go into architecture.
Well, the FNAF 3 location is where he genuinely like lost his mind.
So he just made his profile picture upside down. You know about that?
What?
Look at the FNAF 3 map and then turn it upside down. It's just Anim, dude. You see it?
Not really.
What do you mean?
I don't think that was intentional.
Okay, so turn it upside down, you see the head, and he's in the same pose and everything. It was definitely intentional.
Oh, I get kind of.
Like, look at it next to it, and how the forward arm goes almost up to his head. The one in the back is stubbier.
Okay, I can kind of see it.
He probably did that on purpose. I feel like.
Yeah, it feels too coincidental. But no,
it's a funny little thing.
Is that it for FNAF 2? Because I think like FNAF 3 is when he starts like genuinely
Yeah, FNAF 3 are only rivaled by FNAF 4. We talked about Purple Guy and Phone Guy. The puppet in the first game, I can see. That was something I think he got right.
And the reason is because it's been proven that the puppet can alter like posters and stuff depending on its mood.
Yeah.
So how did the posters change in FNAF 1?
Yeah. And it's like commonly agreed that the puppet was the first victim to die so
Yeah.
obviously it would have been around at that point.
And
They wouldn't have
given
just scrapped it and then brought it back.
that Fazbear has a tendency to just put the old stuff in the back of the other restaurants.
Yeah, yeah. Now here's the real question: do you think Scott intended that? No, he did not.
I think in FNAF 1 he meant it to be Golden Freddy doing that, but then he went,
Yeah, no,
well, I guess
I think
that
the
works.
hallucination. He didn't know about the hallucination. He knew there was going to be hallucinations. He didn't know who was causing them yet. He retroactively
In FNAF 3 or FNAF 1?
made that the case. In FNAF 2.
Oh, I'm talking about FNAF 1. In the FNAF 1 location.
Yeah, in that location, yeah.
Yeah. Because
He
in
didn't know
FNAF
where the
3, he pretty
locations were
clearly
where the hallucinations
spells
were coming
out that, like, it's like awful vents that
Yeah, yeah.
cause it. I also think, because you don't see the Phantom animatronics until Night 2, which is when Springtrap shows up, the fact that there's
Yeah.
an actual rotting corpse
That's-
in this rotting building is, like, causing you to
That's making it
lose
smell
your
so
mind.
bad. Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of hilarious that they thought that would work. It's also kind of
Yeah.
bizarre that Fazbear Entertainment would allow Fazbear Frights to come out.
I mean, they saw their business practices and were like, they shed a tear because they were following in old Pappy's footsteps.
Fazbear Entertainment never became self-aware about their old stupid tendencies until Help Wanted.
I mean, even then, they allowed old code that was very clearly containing some kind of virus into their new game,
Yeah, but they
even
wouldn't.
if that was the dev team.
Yeah, but if FNAF 3 takes place in 2015, it doesn't make any sense that Fazbear Entertainment would just be like totally chill with that. At least
Yeah,
I
they
don't
just-
think it makes any sense. So I definitely think that Fazbear Frights, if it were to operate outside of the games or outside of the events of FNAF 3, that it would get shut down. The fire is pretty convenient. But all that to say that
What if Fazbear Entertainment started the fire?
that'd be funny.
That's their way of suing them.
I
They
forgot
just
what he
set
said
them on
about
fire.
he said that, like, oh yeah, so the purple rabbit in the FNAF 3 minigames, he was like, oh, it's Shadow Bonnie, so it's a purple guy or something like that.
No, it's Shadow Freddy.
A Shadow Freddy.
I
purple
do think
guy.
that it's tied. I do think that Shadow Freddy is tied to the purple guy at some point, at some level. But I also think that it's in some way representative of Nightmare or tied to Nightmare on some or something.
I don't think it is. I think
Why not?
because Scott wouldn't have known about Nightmare at that point. He was not.
I'm
thinking
saying
about
retroactively.
I mean, it could be, but like when
Oh,
you
there's
think,
a lot of retroactives, like making things work by adding new shit. That's like his whole thing.
yeah, but he also like totally like forgot about the box. I didn't even forget about it. He just didn't bring it up again. Like sometimes he's retroactive about stuff, and sometimes he just doesn't. He like kind of has an idea and he puts it in the game, and then he doesn't do anything with it. I think the shadow animatronics are just like kind of ghosts of Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. Astral projection,
Sure, but I
if you
think
will. And I think that's always
Nightmare
what they were
fits
intended
in
to
it, too.
be.
Sure, yeah. They're just yeah. But if they're tied to Fredbear, so is Nightmare, because Nightmare is the inverse colors of Golden Freddy.
Right, but Nightmare is pretty specific to FNAF 4, and it's not even said that. I mean, it's not even confirmed that Nightmare is canonical. Because FNAF, like, once you get to Ultimate Custom Night, correct me if I'm wrong, Nightmare doesn't show up again. Nightmare, I think, only exists in FNAF 4 because it's probably the events of the game are a dream.
Okay, but Nightmarion shows up in Ultimate Custom Night.
Yeah.
So that's not like a gauge of whether or not something is canon.
Yeah, but Nightmare does not get referenced again anywhere else.
Nightmare is an Ultimate Custom Night.
Nightmare is?
Yeah.
I'm opening up UCN.
Okay.
Hold on. Ran to the bottom of this. It's taking confusingly long to open.
Yeah, he says, I am your wickedness made of flesh. I'm here to claim what is left of you. I will vomit you back to relive your horror.
You please adjust your volume until you can hear whispering. I can hear it. Oh, right. Sorry, y'all. Oh yeah. Guess he is. So he
Yeah.
totally could be canon. I just don't think the Shadow animatronics were ever intended, and still aren't intended to be that.
I do. We can agree to disagree because it doesn't really fucking
Yeah,
matter.
it does not matter at all.
I'm very much pissed about that. That is probably the thing that I'm the most like upset that he didn't like continue to like build upon that Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy.
Yeah, it was kind of
because
something that he forgot about.
they were very popular within the fan base, and like people really wanted to know about them, but it was never really a clear explanation.
Yeah.
Which is lame. He's also in FNAF World. Have you considered that?
He was in FNAF World, but so was Nightmare Mangle.
Yep.
Which has no way of being canon. Also, so is Scott, who isn't canon until Help Wanted.
But is retroactively canon to all the games. See what I mean? Retroactive fixing.
God.
And that very much so clashes with MatPat, because he's trying to solve things before they're explained.
Yep.
That really sums up the relationship, I feel like.
I hate... like, I love Help Wanted as a game, but the what the lore means pisses me off so much.
They're trying to sacrifice gameplay for... lore for gameplay, and that would work if
the
Security Breach was good.
Yeah, Security Breach had to have been fun to play.
Yeah.
It isn't. There's also, the Golden Freddy is, just this, like, it's in suit mode and there's a kid in there. Technically there's two, but we didn't know that yet.
Yeah. We're on FNAF 3 now?
We were still on FNAF 3, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd have one other thing. Back to the thing about the Fredbear's Family Diner. He says something as a cupcake when it's very clearly a cake. It's called Take Cake to the Kids.
Oh, yeah, he does say that, and it's like, that's
not a reason for Chica not being
everyone in the call at that point went,
yeah,
that isn't evidence that it's Fredbear's.
Yeah, we all
just a cake.
In sync said that's not evidence for Fredbear's.
Even people
at the same time, it was
like
crazy.
We were in call with two people who didn't know anything about the lore.
Yeah.
They don't know shit about the lore, and even they were like, that's bad evidence. They have no reason to believe that. But then we have the two-parter in episode 4, part 2.
I do have some notes for the start of the first part. He's addressing Scott Cawthon a lot more directly now. He is like, there's like a growing like, I was almost like a bromance between the two them, where they reference each other a lot more.
It's where the yaoi came from.
Yeah, this is my doomed yaoi. And then the community is growing a lot more. Like he's taking a lot of what the community has solved. Which, to be fair, they did just kind of tear into FNAF 3 in like the span of 2 days.
Yeah. He does make a connection
also,
that
he doesn't mention dates as much as he used to.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that huge of a thing, but he stopped kind of caring about it towards then as much. Like he didn't try to figure out when things were taking place. Like he doesn't reference 2023 or 2015 as far as I remember.
Because it wasn't 2023 yet.
Ben?
What?
I can't hear you.
Oh, I was just mumbling.
I can't hear you, brother.
Huh?
Okay, so...
Huh? Am I there?
Can he hear me?
I can hear him.
I don't know.
Hold on, boys. We'll be right back.
Oh.
We're back.
So wait,
no one knows what happened. I just
So what did you hear?
You?
You heard... Did everything I say
Yeah.
get...
I was
Oh, okay,
responding
cool.
to it.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I was just mumbling.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So he ditches the dates. You heard that part?
yeah. I heard everything you said.
Oh, okay.
You just didn't hear anything I
Um,
said.
he said the place in the minigames wasn't Fredbear's Family Diner.
Yeah, it
Uh,
isn't.
the place with the Golden Freddy and Fredbear
Hmm?
in the
Golden Freddy.
minigame,
Oh.
or Spring Bonnie and
Oh,
Fredbear.
yeah. He does say that. He's like, oh, it's Freddy Fazbear's. And we're like, no, it's
It's
Fredbear's.
very
It's
much,
very
yeah,
clearly supposed to be.
yeah. And just like as like an overall, he fumbled every single thing about the spring locks.
Yeah.
He just kept like repeated fumbles. It was honestly a little impressive.
Yeah. There's also a bit in
Um,
the second half where he's talking about, like, he doesn't at all think that Scott is fumbling certain things or like get something wrong in his own, because like he's human, he does make mistakes. So he uses welcome to your new summer job as evidence that everything was pre-recorded in
yeah,
that phone,
yeah,
and that it's totally possible that FNAF or that phone guy is dead pre FNAF 2. He definitely isn't. That is just a
yeah.
script error. He definitely is alive for FNAF 2. And
Yeah,
I think he dies and possesses the phone.
that would be funny.
I want that to be canon. Please confirm that phone guy is indeed trapped in a phone.
It would make sense for literally every appearance that he's had since then. In the final two, he did get right about Golden Freddy not having an endoskeleton. That's why he's like slumped over.
Yeah.
The bite of 87 is kind of like the easiest
Yeah.
mystery. Like it's kind of like a very open and shut case.
He figures
for
out it's
being like the
Mangle.
poster child. It's Mangle and it's Jeremy. Yeah.
Um
And then the bad ending alternate timeline.
technically,
You remember that?
not necessarily.
He just says the first game only takes place if you don't get the good ending in FNAF 3.
That doesn't make any sense.
Correct.
FNAF 3 happens
glad we-
everything else.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So that's all I have for FNAF 3.
yeah, FNAF 3, there's not a lot to dig in there. He brings up the
It's
safe
just bad.
rooms. He brings up yeah. It's just
Yeah,
not
this is
good.
bad.
And then you get to FNAF 4 and fucking everything is thrown out the window. He just thinks at this point that he's better than Scott at figuring out the franchise. And dude, Dream Theory, it
genuinely his worst idea ever in the series.
well, some people would disagree with you there, but I agree with you.
In terms of actual lore, obviously one is still the worst. The worst like actual theory he's had, but
Yeah.
But Dream Theory,
But that died pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, that didn't have like long-lasting implications for this series that people still argue over.
Yeah. This is the one where he goes in FNAF 4 got it all wrong, where he's talking that the child is the frontal lobe victim. He brings up Phineas Cage and and it's a dream. Or I mean it's not a dream. He's like in a hotel room. Or not in a hotel room. He's in a hospital.
A hospital.
Because it's the only game that has a digital clock instead of the
digital alarm clock
clock.
with the grandfather clock, yeah.
Because
It's
fucking
all
hospitals
very
have that. And then we looked at the comments because like surely we're not the only people commenting on that, and we aren't.
Yeah.
We definitely weren't. People were like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Like it's like I've worked in a hospital for 30 years. What are you on about?
Yeah. It almost feels like he's not like actually getting evidence. He's just saying what he thinks.
He's just spitballing.
Which I doubt is true.
No,
sure he
I
does
actually
some
think
research.
that's what he's doing because like when
I would.
and you figure this out so quickly when you get to the live stream and how
No, yeah, for sure.
he's
But there, he's
just
just
saying
spitballing,
shit.
obviously.
But like I
Yeah, the
kind of
live
feel
stream
like
is.
that's where he gets his ideas for spitballing and he goes, "Oh, that's kind of a cool idea." And then he writes a script based around that and he doesn't really do much more digging than that.
Okay, but for that specific alarm clock thing, I would trust his thing over the experience of one person in one hospital. I think it's very possible that in general, most hospitals have that kind of alarm clock.
Hospitals don't have alarm clocks.
If they have a normal clock, I mean. Like obviously it's wrong, but like someone being like, I worked here and my specific place of work didn't have this thing and therefore none of them did
Yeah, but like
is less
but multiple people
believable.
were saying something like I've been in
Yeah.
every hospital I've been to doesn't have this. I've worked in a hospital. I've been in hospitals. My family's been in hospitals and stuff. Like,
This guy's fucking life sucks.
it's like,
Holy
what are you?
shit.
No, these are all different people.
You're talking about one person.
This
I was in a
the
hospital for
one
2 weeks.
sap whose
I got up for
entire
one
life.
day and I got ran over by a car. I went back into a different hospital. They had an alarm clock. It didn't have an alarm clock. I was then
This poor guy's a
discharged
fucking
from the hospital, and I got mugged and shot in both legs. I had to go back to the hospital.
This guy's like a hospital specialist.
It's like the my leg guy in SpongeBob.
He's definitely a hospital specialist.
Yeah.
He specializes in visiting hospitals.
He specializes in going to the hospital and becoming severely
We've
in
said
debt.
hospital so much it doesn't sound like a real word anymore.
Hospital. I need to get to hospital.
No,
That's how British people say it.
he would
I was
know.
feeling knackered, so I went to hospital. What do you mean?
Your grandma.
I have British family members
Yeah.
that have British accents.
Yeah, that's really funny.
We don't usually talk about hospital.
Really?
Not usually.
That's fucked up. I'm sorry.
You fucker. My grandpa died in hospital.
No, dude. My current grandpa is still alive, but my great grandpa that I never met died in the hospital.
Most elderly folks tend to die in hospitals,
Or
in my experience.
they die
Don't
at
say it.
home.
Don't say it.
What?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the toilet. The turlet.
No, that was Elvis.
Yeah. And Sylvia Brown.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think I might be wrong
Who's
on
Sylvia Brown?
that. A person who pretended to was fake psychic, and she was recruited for a bunch of missing persons reports to help with real life kidnappings, where she was like, "Oh, they're dead. Stop looking." When she was alive and was found alive, but they weren't looking for her.
We're looking into this after this episode because that's the most insane shit I've ever heard.
I did a paper on it, Ben.
For what?
Sylvia, fake psychics in general, but I had a whole part on
For
Sylvia Brown.
what? What class was
For
this?
writing.
Was this in college?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that is
That's what I'm saying.
genuinely insane to me.
You know what's crazier?
Is it in that book that you got?
No, it's not in Queer Hauntings.
No, the other one.
About the aura and colors.
Yeah.
Would you believe me if she did it twice? Because there was one time where she was like,
she died on the toilet twice?
No, she said at one point there was another person who was kidnapped, and she was like, he's alive still, and gave their family
false
hope for like ever until they died, but he was dead.
Dude, Al.
And I genuinely don't know which one's worse.
I think saying they're alive when they were dead is worse. Because
I think so too.
Saying they're dead and they're alive, it's like, oh, happy surprise. But like,
one more thing about the case where she said they were dead. Her parents died before they found her, so they died thinking that she was dead. Never got to see her again. All right, on to FNAF 5.
What? No,
So
we're still on FNAF 4.
This one, oh, okay.
Dude, you have to skip like 30 theories just to get to FNAF 5.
I don't really
I
have
say 30,
many
like,
other notes. I don't have many more notes on FNAF
well,
4.
because there was, because they
I
were all
mean,
basically the same. They were just like perpetuating why Dream
yeah,
Theory
the
had to be
puppets in
the
the
thing.
box. Whatever.
Yeah,
Not true.
I mean, we get the psychic friend Fredbear.
That
That
was cool. I
he
like
did
that. I thought that was
insinuate
funny.
that the little girl outside, who everyone thinks is Elizabeth Afton, was
That's
Fredbear, and that doesn't make sense.
that was in FNAF 5.
It was not in FNAF 5. Was it? Did
It
he say that in
it
FNAF
was.
5?
Yeah,
Okay.
because he thought that was Baby. Because remember,
Oh, that's true.
Baby didn't exist until yeah.
There's the hair poking out of the
Look.
body in the closet that
Oh
they
yeah,
lock
like
him
he's
in,
just
and
trying to figure
and
out
he
what
goes,
he
"Oh
saw.
yeah, yeah." Um, and that much kind of makes sense, which is why I genuinely don't know if it's a dream that Michael had, or it's actually a dream that what is his fucking name?
Who are we talking about? I was
CC.
spacing out. Oh,
You-
David, I guess.
My name is David.
Dad. I did have another thing. He was talking about, is the bite victim, or is I can't in good conscience call him David. I refuse to accept that's his name.
He is CC.
CC, yeah. He was talking about, does he become Golden Freddy or the puppet? And he was like, it makes more sense for it to be the puppet, but thematically it makes more sense for it to be Golden Freddy when we saw the puppet die in FNAF 2.
Yeah.
I don't understand what he's talking about. It makes zero sense for it to be the puppet.
Matt, I love you, but what is
I
game
think this
theory?
is his dream theory. He's dreaming when he was talking about this shit.
It doesn't make sense.
Matt, my boy, what are you talking about?
And yeah, you get to Sister Location, and he just did like every single video on Sister Location at that point, and it was like related
Yeah,
to Sister Location
he's
4,
very
and how the
confident.
puppet.
He's very confident about these things when he really shouldn't be.
He thought that the puppet was in the Sister Location teaser.
Yeah, I think all the videos where he's trying to solve things when the games aren't out yet are the worst.
He's like, I think
And
I
we
cracked the
see those-
code because
Yeah, we
there's
see-
the number 87 in the source code,
Oh, therefore,
and therefore it's
Ugh.
about a sister. No, but genuinely, when he says that it's
I think-
probably the puppet reflecting onto Funtime Foxy,
oh my god,
we're like, do you
that means
know
it's
how
entered.
reflections are?
Gotta be entered, man. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be Baby.
I don't think it was supposed to be anything.
No, I don't think it was.
It's
But
just
if it
a
was anything, it looks more like Baby.
Well, that would make more sense, but also it's probably just a reflection of a part of Foxy that's below his face.
Yeah, I think Scott just put all the models in freaking in one thing. I don't know how 3D modeling works, but I'm sure he wasn't thinking about that, which
He wasn't-
was really annoying when MatPat continues to say Scott doesn't do coincidences. Yes, he does. You're just fucking paranoid.
The only thing that he kind of got right was the booking schedule.
The rental stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that it was Circus Baby's rentals, and that like there was a crime that happened that caused him to shut down. That much was
Mhm.
true.
Yeah.
And then he kind of got entered right.
Yeah, like they come together, but like that was kind of obvious. I feel like.
Yeah. I can't remember. Did he or did he not insinuate that all of the MCI victims were entered?
I think that was Gibby.
It probably was Gibby, because it's entered, and
I didn't even start thinking about that until Candy Cadet, which we are not covering here. But
we
I
didn't
can't
even
wait.
get to Candy Cadet.
No, I think we're gonna do
Because
FNAF 6 and onward.
He flops at every point in Candy
Yeah.
Cadet until I don't have a base reference, but
We need to rewatch
someone,
them. I barely.
someone had to have had a theory around the time where he sort of kind of got it right, but when you rewatch him, when we get to that point, we'll hear him fumble every single time to figure out.
I find it
what
hard
Candy
to
Cadet
watch
is
the
saying.
ones where he's talking about the books because they're just
He thinks the books matter more than they do.
he takes such pride in reading the books. That is my final note. Like, I read the books. I love the Silver Eyes trilogy. As bad and as convoluted as they are,
Silver Eyes, if you look at it as its own book, is readable.
I enjoy the Fourth Closet's ending more than I probably should, but that book in general isn't great.
Twisted
And
Ones
the Twisted,
fucking sucks.
I hate the Twisted Ones, man.
Oh, guys, they're zombies. They're zombies. They come
They
out of
call
the ground.
me Springtrap now. Who's they?
Who?
Who are you
I
talking
hope they
about?
make fun of that in the second movie.
They call me Springtrap now.
They have like the Suicide Squad. I hope it's like akin to the Suicide Squad where they make jokes about Rick Flagg's monologue in the first movie.
Yeah, I can't wait for Michael to be like, "It's over, Afton. You've sprung our trap." Oh, have you now? I think you've sprung my trap.
That sounds like a
Or something
euphemism.
stupid like that. Springing a trap? No, that's just a
You've
thing.
sprung my trap sounds like a euphemism.
That's a joke in the FNAF musical. We spring the trap.
Oh, that's true.
And he's like, "Would you kindly follow me?" And then he brings out the Balloon Boy robot.
Yeah, that's the best.
Remember when they? Yeah, Twisted Ones is actually the best one because they added a freaking weird wolf OC for some reason.
It's the best use of Balloon Boy. It's the only
That's
time
also true.
Balloon Boy is fucking useless, and it's probably just a leftover thing from Chica's Party World, but we're not going to talk about that.
I always think of Balloon Boy. I associate Balloon Boy with FNAF 3 nowadays.
Why?
Like Phantom, I don't know. Phantom Balloon Boy always stuck in my mind.
Because it's the one you see the most. He's the most likely
Probably.
to pop up.
He's the first one to show up. He had that Guess Who teaser.
I hate Balloon Boy.
But yeah.
He ruined.
No one likes him.
He was the first sign that FNAF was a dying franchise.
Hey, it's been dying for a long time, Ben.
Yeah, if it's been dying since its second installment, then
Maybe it's not dying.
yeah. Scott's one tentative ass motherfucker.
Yeah, they're fucking persistent. I feel like FNAF, now that it has a really successful movie, I think it can't die. Or, I don't want to say that. I think it's going to be very hard for it to die.
I don't know, Resident Evil died.
Well, it had a bad movie.
It had nothing but bad movies. Yeah, FNAF wasn't a good movie, it was just successful.
Were Resident Evil movies successful?
Well, the first one was. What about Uncharted?
That movie sucked, dude.
Yeah, it was also very successful.
It ended because, like, narratively it made sense. Naughty Dog wanted to put that series to rest.
I genuinely do not understand where their minds were at when they made the movie.
Tom Holland.
Yeah, but why is... First off, Mark Zuckerberg is... I could kind of see
Mark
Tom Holland...
Zuckerberg? Wahlberg?
Fucking Jesus. I worked like 10 hours today. Give me a break.
It's okay. I'm just imagining the Zuck as fucking Sully.
Yeah. No, I mean, it'd probably be better casting. It
That
would
would've
have been
been
better
better.
casting than Mark Wahlberg, who isn't even trying to be
Yeah.
Sully. I could kind of buy if they did like a prequel element and that's where they started the franchise, and that's younger Nathan Drake, or hell, like
the best two parts of that movie are the Uncharted 3 scene where he's like
Out of the
climbing
plane.
up the plane,
Yeah.
and then when Nolan North shows up.
Yeah.
That was a cool
But
cameo.
that's like
I
when
like that.
R.L. Stein shows up in the Goosebumps movie, and I just go, "Oh, that's funny."
He's there.
Yeah, R.L.
Did
Stein
that?
is in the movie. So is Stephen King.
I thought that was Jack Black.
No, Jack. Okay. Whatever, man. But no, why?
Those are all my notes.
I didn't
Books
write any
fucking
notes.
suck.
I just kind of.
You want to do a book club? Do you want to read Fazbear's Frights?
No, I think I brought this up with you, and you were like, "No," and I am now going to repeat what you did to me. No, I would almost be okay with doing Tales with the Pizzaplex, but because those are actually
I would
canon.
read it if they made another like series, maybe.
If they did the box set,
If they did another long running.
Because
If they made like another like down to earth, like, oh, let's hide overnight at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and then they killed children.
We could
or
do
something
the
like
choose
that.
your own adventures. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, I'd read the night before with you.
Do you want to know what's really funny?
Do it live and let people vote.
You want to know what's
What were you-
awesome?
What?
Last time I was at Costco, I was looking at the book section because I needed ideas for stuff to buy on my Kindle, and they have a box
Just
set.
look at the fucking store in the online store.
Yeah, but like sometimes Costco has a solid selection. This time they didn't, but they had a box out of all the Fazbear Frights books.
Oh, good.
And I
can't
picked
believe you
them
didn't buy
up
that.
just to look at them, and some kid was like, "Are you a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's 2?" And I said no. So if the kid at Costco somehow gets a hold of this episode, I was lying and I'm sorry. I autopilot responded and then walked away.
You just walked away.
Yeah, I said no.
Did you like hand him the collection?
No,
and
I just
walk
like
away?
put it down. I was like, no.
Just imagine you like John Mulaney, like, and I said no, and then I handed it to him and I walked away.
I should have handed it to him. No,
It's so funny.
I know. I just
Dude,
kind of like put it down and like walked away.
I like that you went with the John Mulaney inflection. He's like, "Are you a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's?" Like,
Yeah. No,
is that what he sounded like?
yeah, he was really shaky. He's like, "Are you also a fan?" I was like, "Yeah." Yeah, no.
You could have made his day, dude. What the hell?
I totally could have, but I was also autopiloting. He called me. First off, my earbuds were in. Second, I had been jump scared by FNAF books at Costco. Third, I was
I
hungry.
was caught off guard.
Everything about
And
that
then
whole
I
interaction
left
was
and
just
bought
weird.
a pizza slice.
Yeah, I basically walked to the self-checkout line and bought my shaving cream, deodorant, and
No,
Monster.
You're 3-in-1. You're 3-in-1.
3-in-1 shaving
Said-
cream, or 3-in-1
Shaving-
deodorant.
Shaving cream, deodorant, and Monster.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
sticky. I know.
I still haven't had a chicken bake, by the way.
Okay, we'll fix that.
I mean, my mom makes them. They're pretty good.
I haven't been up north in a while, so I should probably go up. There's a Costco up there. Yeah.
To me? Okay.
Yeah. I haven't been up there in a minute.
Come over tomorrow. Bryson isn't here.
I'm not coming up tomorrow. I work tomorrow.
Come up later. We can use his.
I work from noon
bed.
to like
Have
8.
a sleepover. Have a sleepover.
No.
You don't work tomorrow on Monday, I don't think. Maybe.
No, but I do have plans on Monday.
Oh, good thing you have a car.
I'm going to go see Mickey 17.
Oh, okay.
By the way, movie review. The Monkey was really good.
I'm totally okay if you want to put movie reviews at the end of these.
I think we're
I'm
recording this. We're back to
out.
recording these at night, just for
I'm
tonight.
spacing
'Cause
out.
I had to record
Yeah,
after work.
there's a voice in my head telling me to open up Blue Sky.
That's not good. You're on Blue Sky?
I just need Deltarune updates and Toby Fox isn't on Twitter.
All right. What was I saying? Oh yeah,
I don't know.
we had to record this late because the first attempt at recording this episode, we ended up just doing BuzzFeed quizzes, and I didn't
Why
like the
didn't
footage.
you release that?
No,
Yeah, why not?
I think I actually deleted the file off my computer. I don't think it
understand
exists.
your thought process.
It just wasn't good.
It'd be funny.
I was rewatching the footage like completely stone-faced.
Maybe someone would like it. If one person likes it, then it's okay.
It's gone. I'm pretty
I
sure
know.
it doesn't exist.
That's why I'm pissed at you.
We can do
We have to-
another. We
now
can
we
do
have
another
to
BuzzFeed.
redo it.
It's okay.
Now we have
It's just
to
doing
redo it.
BuzzFeed. It's just doing BuzzFeed quizzes. That's something we like to do. This isn't like when we whiffed the Christmas special, and
I mean, I'd rewatch that still.
yeah, but like the whole point of that was it was our first time watching it.
Yeah, I know.
We were going with blind eyes. That's why we have to do the weird mushroom one that I found.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure is about a mushroom playing the cello, but I also did not research this at all, and I could just be like deliriously spewing out nonsense.
I would hope so.
By the way, this is definitely coming out like tomorrow. I'm not editing this tonight.
I mean, yeah.
The fact is like, because even in our first few episodes, our attention drifted so hard. It's because like it was, if we record them early in the day, we're a little more focused, we're a little more energized.
Yeah.
I worked all day, and it was like kind of a stressful day, and I've been like, I've basically had enough caffeine to kill a toddler, so like I'm coming down from a caffeine high and I'm tired, and so my brain's just like,
Yeah.
It's like that video of Joe Biden on the bike, and he like kind of slowly falls over. That's what my brain is doing.
Yeah, is awesome.
I got Biden brain.
Biden Blast.
Dude, I have a Baja Blast in my car.
Oh. What if they made the Biden Blast?
I bought a Baja Blast Snuggie.
Biden Blast.
All right, bye.